Here's a look at how I created some on-trend thrift store flips using some items that have seen better days. Hi there, my name is Sandra and you're watching The Schwowin's Nest. All of my projects today are pretty simple. They're also fairly quick. What I'm doing with these two little fox figurines is using some white chalk paint. I'm adding a little bit of baking soda and I'm going to give them quite a few coats. They are so cute on their own, but they're a bronze color and they've got some little chips and scratches. So using the textured paint is going to cover that up, make them a little bit more modern, but still rustic. Sometimes all you need is a fresh coat of paint to make things look new and more up to date. The trends that I'm seeing right now in 2023 are whites and blacks and a little bit more into the rustic, natural look of the wood rather than too many colors. And I really love that because it really ties in with my farmhouse style. Once all of the coats of paint were dry, I gave them a nice coat of Mod Podge just to seal everything in. This little pair of foxes will be available up on my Etsy shop. I've only got one pair, so if you're interested, go check it out now. Thanks a bunch to everyone who's been subscribing and viewing my videos. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. If you're new to my channel and you like what you see, I'd love it if you could hit that red button too. I love finding these crates at the thrift store. This one was only $5. I do find that they're always priced really inexpensively. This guy is huge, but it needs a little bit of help. So I'm going to just pop off all of these flowers and stars. I'm going to start off using my little Cricut spatula, and for some of the stronger ones, I'm going to need to use a screwdriver. Be careful when you pop these off. They started to fly all over my workspace. I'm going to paint the green portion white with this Fusion Mineral paint. It's called Picket Fence, and I'm going to have to give it about 3 coats because this green is fairly dark and I didn't want the coverage to be streaky. The other trend that I'm working on with this project is I'm going to be leaving the wood the way it is. So I'm going to paint the front and I'm going to leave all of the natural wood its color. That was one of the trends that is supposed to be showing up this year. More lighter natural woods, not so much paint and not so much dark stain. I decided to put the word storage on this. Now you don't have to. You could leave it plain or you could put a little bit of decoupage on it. Even though the trends may say that putting words and labels on things is on its way out, if it makes you happy, do it. I used my Cricut to cut out the word storage as a stencil. I'm going to use a makeup sponge from the Dollar Tree and some black chalk paint and just sponge it on very lightly. I'll have this storage word available as a free printable on my website. Here's another example of what a coat of paint can do. This is the original look of the little piggy. Of course, this one that I have is a bookend. I originally spray painted him white, but man, did his eyes look freaky. So I decided to take some of my black chalk paint and give them a couple of good coats. I do have 2 of them. Now, before you guys get all upset because I painted over some vintage items, there is no market for stuff like this in my area. And these bookends are way too heavy to ship. I did look them up when I first got them. I think it was last year sometime when I found them in the spring, I think. And for the pair, they were worth about $25. So there was no way I was going to bother with putting them online somewhere. It just wasn't worth the effort. Anyhow, I think they turned out absolutely beautiful this way in the solid black, but I'd like you guys to let me know if you think I should go over them with a little bit of antiquing wax to make them look sort of like a dark blackish brown color, or if you think white wax would look better. There's a lot of texture on these little guys, so I was just afraid that the white wax would make them look bad, I guess is the word I'm looking for. But I'm wondering if maybe the antiquing wax would just brighten them up just ever so slightly and make them look better. So you guys let me know what you think. I'm starting off this project by gluing together these three wood pieces. You can see one is a little wonky there. So I'm going to need to use my clamps to make sure that they glue all together. I cut these discs out using my laser machine, and I'm going to use some wood glue to glue them all together. What I'm doing is making a lid or a cover for the lantern you can see down in the corner. When you're using clamps, you've got to make sure when you put the clamp down that it didn't adjust the position of your object. With wood glue, it's very easy because it's so slippery to get things moved out of shape a little bit. And that's what happened here, but I just needed to make sure that everything was lined up properly. And then I put three clamps on and just set it aside for about 10 minutes until the wood glue had a chance to set up. While I was waiting for that to dry, I took a whole bag of Spanish moss, just pulled out the whole clump, and now I'm just forming it into a bird nest. And this is the best way that I feel to create a bird nest. You're just going to kind of push things into the center, make a little hole like a well, and then shape it how you want it to be. Take out any pieces that don't belong, and it works out just fine. So I'm going to be laying this in the bottom of this lantern that I picked up at the thrift store. It was $3.99 and it's really heavy. I thought it was a really good quality. I didn't do anything to it. I'm not painting it. I just cleaned it up, and it's sort of that dark bronze color. The bird I'm using came from the Dollar Tree. I painted it white and brushed it a little bit with some gray. Now, before I start doing anything with this lid that I created, I'm going to use this little bamboo wood piece. It came off of a dog toy from my local dollar store, and anytime I see anything wood or bamboo or in unique shapes that I think might be useful for crafting, I pick them up. It doesn't matter what section of the dollar store they're in. I took that little dowel and then just hammered it in so it would all be a solid piece. Now I'm taking some dark walnut stain, and I kind of wish I would have stayed with more of a lighter color, but I do like how this turned out. I'm just using this stain on the lid, and I'll use it on the little dowel piece, and then I'll just wipe off the excess. To decorate a little bit more around the bird, I'm going to add some of these little white wax flowers that you can get from the Dollar Tree. I've cut each little tiny stem individually, and I'm also going to be adding some eucalyptus leaves. And I'm just going to poke them in with a little bit of hot glue right into the Spanish moss just to hold them in place. And this will just be really easy to be able to take out if you want to put something different in it, if you want a candle in it and actually have it do its purpose, or just leave it for decorative use and also be able to change it out for the seasons. I also added some of the little picks and the greenery onto the sides of the Spanish moss just so it would look like it's poking out from underneath the bird nest. I love how this one turned out, and you'll have to let me know what you think of it too. This last project is using this two-tiered wicker tray. I couldn't believe when I came upon this at the thrift store because this was exactly what I was looking for to replace what I currently have in the corner of my bathroom for all of my toiletries. I took it outside and I spray painted it black. and I wanted it to have a little bit of a wood look. So I took these spindle pieces. I did cut them down from regular long spindles, and I just used my miter box to do that. I'm going to go ahead and drill a hole right through the little spindle piece at the bottom so it can fit right on top of the legs. Originally, the metal feet had these little balls on the end of it. I asked my son to grab his bandsaw. He's an electrician and he cuts a lot of metal stuff. And he just took this outside and within a matter of a minute or so was able to very quickly cut off the end pieces. To add the spindle feet to the bottom of the tray, I'm just going to put some hot glue in the hole and then push it right into the leg. And it's going to take a little bit extra hot glue to actually keep it all in place. So once this was completely dry, I just tipped it upside down and added some more hot glue into the hole at the bottom. And everything is holding really well. They're nice and sturdy. And I think this is going to turn out great. Now with wicker pieces, you know that the bottoms are never even because everything's woven together. So I went to my laser machine and I cut out 2 pieces that were going to fit perfectly into the bottom of the tray, and that will just allow for a nice steady surface to put my stuff on. I hope you enjoyed these simple and quick on-trend thrift flips. And if you did, please give me a thumbs up. That gets me noticed more on YouTube and helps my channel grow. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. The black arrow will point you in the right direction. See you in the next one.